The battered coastline after the tsunami. More than 200,000 people have been killed, and millions more left homeless and without livelihoods. Now the focus is on rebuilding homes, schools, hospitals and factories. But a new UN report says rehabilitating the natural environment is just as critical, and it can help protect vulnerable coastal communities against future disasters.
To have the right feeling for nature gives you an early warning of coming disasters. So all this together is our answer.
Whether it's fishing, farming or tourism, people living around the Indian Ocean depend on the environment to make a living. Within days of the disaster, the United Nations Environment Programme set up the Asian Tsunami Task Force to assess the damage and to look at ways to give better protection to people and to ecosystems right across the region.
Now what needs to happen is that mankind needs to go back to nature and learn from the wisdom of the nature and put that in the place when we go on and reconstruct.
The shores of the Indian Ocean are fringed with forests, mangroves and coral reefs, natural buffer zones against the ravages of the sea. UNEP's rapid environmental assessment has found that where mangroves were cut down for shrimp farms, such as in Banda Aceh, the tsunami was able to smash its way straight through. Where mangroves remain intact, they reduce the destructive power of the wave and survived. Coral reefs don't appear to have been harmed by the tsunami itself, but have been damaged by the huge amounts of debris washed back out to sea. UNEP's report also reveals waste. Across the region, authorities are struggling to deal with millions of tons of rubble and waste. Sanitation. Leaking sewage is a major public health hazard. Water. Rice paddies and freshwater supplies have been contaminated by salt water. Soil. High ammonia levels are being found in soils from waste pollution.
We need to clean up the waste debris. We need to make sure that we are rehabilitating the critical ecosystems so that the countries will be protected for waves in the future.
But the report doesn't just map the damage done to the environment. It makes recommendations on how to rehabilitate ecosystems and protect coastal communities against future disasters. Replant mangroves and rehabilitate coral reefs to restore natural barriers against the sea. Map the vulnerable areas and ban construction of homes and hotels too close to the sea. In tourism-dependent Thailand, authorities are keenly aware of this solution, and Sri Lanka has already established a no-build zone up to 200 metres from the high tide. Design new buildings which allow floodwaters to flow through. Some buildings survived because they have open ground floors which let the water pass unimpeded. Build safe haven towers such as these in Bangladesh. The flood-prone country now has some of the best disaster emergency planning in the world.
So we need also something like this green construction, this green land use planning, not as an ideology but as an investment in better preparedness against disaster.
Because there's been such a generous response from the rest of the world, there is now an ideal opportunity for people to rebuild their lives in a way that preserves natural resources and protects against disasters. Political will, as much as economic support, will be crucial for the reconstruction.